Gen.G, and we're going to be starting off on Haven.
Yeah, Haven, a really interesting data point here. Haven is by far one of the most efficient maps for GMD. They have a for Gen.G, they have a 73% win rate. So they seem to favor this very, very well. Only second to Bind at 74. But Jcstani is able to start us off pretty hot here. An important kill early on.
Spike being planted on the A site. You've got Genghsta up in heaven right now. The numbers even across the board, but PL1 makes quick work of them as Genghsta and Asuna both go down. It's Koler coming through from the spawn, but Effys is there with the cleanup as well. Gen.G picking up the pistol round win here to kick things off on Haven. A strong push towards the A site and a solid hold to prevent the retake from being possible. 3 kills do come through for the likes of Immortals. 1 for Koler, Asuna, and Jcstani. Dicey and Genghsta don't get on the board. You can see Effys had a double in that round as they solidified the hold on A.
We take a look at the compositions that are there, that the teams have selected, as we load into the second round. Again, it's going to be a pistol round for the boys on the side of Immortals. We'll see what they're able to make do with the resources that they have. And the Spike just very, very cautiously not making a move here. But you see the Cypher on the side of Immortals hanging out over and see a very common setup while Immortals begins to stack a little bit heavier on that A side, which looks like that's exactly where Gen.G is going to try to go. A long push, no short nonsense.
In the site, you've got Dicey here with the pistol. Dicey gets taken down by Huynh. Genghsta again up in heaven, gonna have to fall back as the Sova. The rest of the team as well, now playing on the retake as Gen.G again gains site control. The flame wall is up. Demon currently just jiggle peeking, waiting for the potential push to come through here. It is just pistol, so they're trying to draw a little extra blood on the round. You've got the Phoenix currently sitting back in attacker spawn. The other two over towards defender spawn on A side exit, and they're just playing 4 exits, waiting for them to try to walk into their path. They've got a crossfire set up here. Good positioning to try to get something going. There's the ping as well coming out. The curveball comes through. Gimon is flawless with the first. Traded out immediately by Genghsta. Again, right now it's all about economic damage wherever possible, and Genghsta's doing a pretty solid amount of that as well. Goes for the SMG pickup. They're going to be walking back into Asuna, who's here as well with a shorty, and the angle is perfect. That round ends up costing Gen.G quite a bit of money as it comes down to just 2 survivors.
Yeah, that's certainly not how you want that to play out. I guess the nice thing is, as much as they've died, they are going to be able to reset and buy better weapons. But you see Effys looked like he was considering the Bulldog for a minute and has swapped out. MkaeL, thank you, Boq, is going to have the Bulldog as well. So, again, a case of good against good. You've got 2 rounds in the pockets of Gen.G. Again, this is the map that they selected. This is the map that statistically should favor them. And so far, they are playing that exactly as expected, at least as far as the analysts have predicted. Spike once again, hovering slowly outside of A. We've seen that push a couple of times. I haven't seen much action over to B or C yet.
The Owl drone flying through from mid, taken out immediately by the players waiting right around the corner. Genghsta starts the spam, can't quite connect. Shock dart close, and it's right on the money to take down Gimon. Jcstani and Asuna both get involved in the action, and it all falls down onto Brim. It's PL1. And he's on the other side of the smoke. Koler's going to push right on through. Player 1 not able to survive that one. As Immortals put themselves on the board with the first full buy round. We'll see how it impacts the round that follows. Again, this is when you start looking at the amount of guns they lost in that previous round. That ended up costing them quite a bit to come into that round because they had to rebuy on multiple players. So instead of that being a full bonus where you have multiple players coming in with SMGs, you had a couple players buying up, and that's why the money is kind of in the state that it's at. Huynn's the only one that can really afford to buy and still have money to buy in the next, so he'll go for a Phantom Light Armor. We'll see if he can do some extra damage.
And then note the op in the hands of Dicey. Looking up C-Long. Perfectly timed. Oh no, he gets blasted right through the smoke. Player 1 with the Sheriff, just giving him that nice and easy one tap from completely nullifying the investment of the op, and it looks like the spike is going to make its way up C-Long as well. Asuna opting to go aggressive, but he's going to get tagged up pretty badly with that run it back. He's going to be able to retreat back to safety. No worse for wear. But the spike, it looked like it was going to make its way up, and now it has second thoughts as it sits back at the end of C-Long. A lot of ruckus, a lot of noise created initially, but all for naught, as it looks like they're starting to rotate their way out.
Jcstani just locking down back sight right now. He's playing as the Omen. He's got the smoke down, the dark cover on long. It looks like a push is going to come through in a minute. They're going to go ahead and pop the run it back. That'll Guimon to lead them in. Guimon, though, gets flashed out almost immediately. The recon dart also gets taken down backside. There's the orbital strike, but Jcstani's actually able to get away from that, using the port as the Omen, and he's found 2 out of this. Make it 3! Why not find a 4th? Absolutely fantastic play coming in from the Omen as he narrowly escapes death and finds 4 kills as a result.
Fancy footwork there out of him to extend the play, to extend his life, and then to clean up and make that happen. Take a look at how he does it again. You see him TP his way out of the orbital strike, and then it's just shooting fish in a barrel, so to speak. They jump into his crosshairs. Just flawless out of Immortals, and that's going to knot us up 2-2 now. Gen.G is going to have guns again. No op on the side of them. We typically see Huynh rocking that one, but he's not going to have it this time in a response to Dicey, but at least for now, it doesn't seem like it's going to matter. The spike hanging out, not moving its way up, but members of Gen.G are, as you see them on your minimap, creeping their way up along. There are 2 members on the side of Immortals that are going to be there. I'm sorry. Yeah, 2. And the Omen is going to be close by as well. Quick access to join the party if he needs to, but pretty slow early on the side of Gen.G. A great response by Immortals to knot this thing up, and we're just over a minute left on the clock. There's no extreme urgency, but the clock is still.
There's the dash onto the site from the Jet, taken down immediately again. It's the Omen coming up big. Dicey hits a quick shot onto MkaeL, but can't escape inside the smoke, spotted out by player 1. Comes down to a 2-on-2, but quickly it all falls apart as Asuna is there. Immortals looking strong on the defense after losing the pistol in the ensuing eco round. They've now won 3 straight. And it's Jcstani and Asuna who are currently leading this scoreboard push from Immortals. 8 kills, 3 deaths for Jcstani. Asuna, 7 kills, 2 deaths, 5 assists between the 2 of them.
Dicey's still going to have that op, and it's not that he hasn't had opportunities. He just hasn't really been able to land any shots quite yet, and that's going to leave him at 1-4. But there's a reason why he's on this roster. He's proven, as he showed yesterday, that he can certainly frag out with the best of them. Yet to be seen on this map, but he may get an opportunity here shortly if they manage to get their way into the garage. GMD's going to spot one. Asuna's going to clean him up. Come sitting on the sideline as Asuna gets a second. Give him a third as Effys drops as well. Hunting for the 4th. Looks like he's going to be able to heal up and buy himself some time, but MkaeL going to whiff one, but doesn't whiff the second one. Asuna drops.
Again, Immortals on the defense right now looking strong as they've won 4 straight, and Gen.G can't seem to find that weakness or find that opening. Now this round is where it really becomes difficult for Immortals. You've got this strong full buy coming in from Gen.G, one that will include the operator for Huynh. Got rifles on the rest. They do buy down to Broke though, so that's a bit of a problem. If they lose this one again, it will be another round likely to follow as Immortals is piling them up and building up serious cash as well. Dicey, as the alt player, currently sitting at 7,900 credits. So plenty of money for them to fall back on currently. Looks like they are going to decide to attack towards the A site, but you've got Asuna popping the ult, run it back through the garage doors, looking to get that early intel, take down a player potentially. They hear the ult pop and they fall back off of that, so Asuna goes back inside the garage. No blood will be spilled off the ult.
Gen.G showing that they're more than okay with playing this slowly and responding to the ebb and flow. The ability or the way that they responded to that ult, again, to back off into spawn, just waited out before making an aggressive play. Throw pretty here, but they're not going to have a chance to wait for much longer. Soon as able to get Huynh, but Effys and MkaeL trade it back out. Koler is going to do his best to keep things at bay as there's going to be an onslaught coming in through Garage. If he's able to stop it, he's going to do himself some favors, but MkaeL and Huynh are able to get one apiece. It's going to leave things in a 2v1 in favor of Gen.G. The spike is down out in Garage, but not down for long. It's going to be a plant onto C. It's going to be Stanny, the last one standing on the side of Immortals, outnumbered and theoretically outgunned. The op is there. Yeah, he spots him, shoots him on what looked like was the barrel of the gun. Nonetheless, that's a round in favor of Gen.G, and they bridge that gap, that gap to 1 round.
Yeah, we talked about it. That was an important round for Gen.G to win. They needed to if they were going to try and start to fire back with a few rounds of their own, because the money was going to begin to become a problem. Because of the way they lost that 3rd round, actually because of the way they won that 2nd round and then lost that 3rd round, that's what got them into this downward spiral that saw them lose a few rounds in a row. Then they lost one buy round. Again, it's back to an eco territory, and that was a dangerous position they found themselves in. So they win that round with enough bodies left that they could buy up again in the round that follows. Immortals, though, did have plenty of cash to fall back on, so they'll be going into the full buy yet again. We'll see how they position themselves this time around. Dicey was on top of the double boxes over on the A site, peering down towards short. MkaeL luckily didn't peek that one, so no early advantage coming in here for the defensive side of Immortals. But again, whoever wins this one likely to put their opponent into an awkward buy territory, so this could be a swing round for both Immortals and Gen.G.
Also note, Huynh does have the op this time. I believe that's the first time on the map that we've seen them invest that and put it into his hands. And I believe Dicey still has one on the side of Immortals. It's going to be, yeah, it's going to be a good one. Those two guys are going to be matched up as far as firepower goes. We have not seen a play towards B, but take a look at Huynh and take a look at Effys. They're going to try to creep their way up there. Dart, not spotting anyone, but Genghsta knows because he sees the dart, drops the shock dart, but it's not going to connect onto anything. You hear the orbital strikes begin to drop as Dicey's is able to get one. Huynh gets dropped at the hands of Stanny. The spike is going to go down on A. You hear the Hunter Sure come out as well, trying to connect, trying to deal some damage, and it's going to force player 1 to reposition, at least for the time being. Huynh up close and personal, slicing and dicing him up as Stanny goes down. The clock is ticking, however, and Huynh is still playing that tight angle with the spike, and he's able to connect as Genghsta goes down. Still has the Bladestorm at his disposal as well. You hear the neural theft being used. That's going to lead things in the 3v2. Asuna try to connect on one. He is able to get one. Dancing, diving, and dodging around the flames as he gets a second one as well. That's going to clean up Gen.G. That's going to give Immortals the 5th round of their half.
Strong play coming out from Asuna there as the Phoenix, playing on both sides of that flame wall, jiggling to the left, jiggling to the right. Not only that, but healing at times as he passes between both sides. 13-4 performance right now coming in for Asuna. Strong game coming in for a player we've spent plenty of time talking about. Remember his early days playing CS, kind of a pugger, just had ridiculously strong mechanical skill, and I love how it's transitioned over into Valorant and turned him into one of the more promising young players in the North American region. Immortals, they have that lead at 2 rounds currently, and the buy coming in from Gen.G, again, not exactly ideal due to the way that the credits were piling up for both teams. Whoever won that round was going to force their opponent onto this kind of awkward force buy territory. The smoke will go out over on long A so they can try to get up. There's the dash in. Nice flash coming out. That keeps Huynh from being able to do much with the shotgun. The pistols, though, actually doing decent damage on the site. It's come down to a 1-on-2. It's Effys here as the Sova, full HP with armor to back it up. The spike is down. Both players moving in. Who other than Asuna to close things out there with a round win for Immortals, but still a strong push onto the A site from Gen.G. Got a little bit scary there for Immortals.
Yeah, it did, and I think the scary thing right now is Gen.G's economy, right? Like, there are 3 players, excuse me, that are going to buy down to scraps And it's going to be Effys and player one who are still going to have a little bit in their pockets when all is said and done. But this is, again, the byproduct of how they won round 2 and how they lost round 3. The financial implications of that are still plaguing this squad. They have to pull this round out if they want to try to get back on track. But the problem is, Boq, they haven't found much success anywhere in the last couple of rounds. It's been tough sledding.
It definitely hasn't been easy for Gen.G trying to find those openings. And unfortunately for them here, it looks like they might feel comfortable challenging towards Garage. And that's where one of the scariest pieces resides currently. It's Asuna who's in window, going to get smoked out. The run it back, allowing them to get up onto the site potentially. Nice smokes or flashes coming in from the defense to make that a little bit harder for them, but they've still got this advanced position, and now they've actually gotten control of B as well. Asuna's going to spot MkaeL trying to sneak the way through onto C site from the back end of the play. And now he's popped his own ult as well. It's down to one and only one. It's the Sova for Gen.G waiting on the other side of the wall. Asuna's just running straight towards him. Didn't spot Effys around the corner. Doesn't matter. The Omen is there to close things out. 7 rounds now on the board for Immortals. We mentioned this coming into the series. Gen.G was one of the hot-handed teams coming out of the early stages of beta play. Immortals was kind of a confusing one, but when they made the recent roster change and juggled around roles and changed player positions, things have really clicked for Immortals. They've looked stronger now than they ever have before.
I think the important thing to call out too is these two squads met at the 30 bomb Summer Cup, and Gen.G actually 2-0'd them. 13-8 both times on Ascent and Bind, so it might be Haven that's the difference maker here, but I think you're right. Even with the personnel change, it's not like Dicey's popping off by any means. It very well may be coming down to the role swapping that has taken place and how they have changed their focus. Dicey is going to get a chance with the Aqua. Spotted just a sliver of a kneecap, and he drops a bullet right into MkaeL's dome. He's going to get another chance with Guimon, but Guimon playing with fire down A long. Not going to get a whole lot of chances with him missing there. He's going to back off. The spike is going to make its way onto B, but not for long as Huynh and player one get gunned down. Effys drops as well. 3 for Koler on this round, then that's going to leave 1, and not for long. Gen.G drops another one. Immortals in full control right now.
Immortals just looks really good right now, and Gen.G looks kind of stunned. They don't really seem to have a solution or an answer for the way that Immortals is currently playing defense. We'll see if things switch as we move closer and closer towards that second half. We're in that final round of the first half. Currently strong performances coming out from multiple players. You've got Asuna on 16-5, Koler 12-3, formerly as a Brim, now switching over to the Cypher. You've got Jcstani playing at 11-7 as the Omen with 6 assists as well. So all 3 of those players putting in some serious work. Right off the bat, you can see heavy presence currently towards the C site, where it looks like they want to challenge Koler currently. The Cypher sees the shock dart come through, but got utility in other places. So while they tried to take down those tripwires, he's got some more waiting for him. There's the flash. The orbital strike comes out on site. Koler gets trapped inside it. Player one with the nice openings onto that C site to guarantee access here for Gen.G, and a 2-player advantage as they go for the spike plant.
Yeah, and we haven't seen them make this decisive of a call up until this point, and so far it seems to be working. They managed to get on the site. They have cavalry just waiting on the other side as they're hanging out back in C long. You've got 3 members on the side of Immortals, severely outnumbered, but Genghsta is doing his best to try to even things up as MkaeL goes down. Huynh able to trade it out with an op as Stani drops. Yeah, there's the Hunter's Fury, not connecting onto anyone, but diceyzx is able to get one, and for as bad as it looked, it's down to a 3v2 numbers in favor of Gen.G. Here's the other ult coming out as the spike continues to tick. Effys is able to get one, player one gets another one, Immortals drops, and that is the round that Gen.G desperately needed.
Yeah, capping off the half with a big win to take things to a not-so-big scoreline of 8-4. Definitely needed that one to prevent that from being even harder as they switch over to the defensive side. Player one, aka PL1, strong play pushing onto that A site. Picks off the first with the ult. Not sure how Koler got stuck in that one. Just awkward positioning and timing for Koler. Got caught off guard by the orbital strike. Couldn't escape the radius. I think he tried to go back towards spawn stairs because he was afraid to peek out from back towards C long. understandable. You're dead either way. So I think he was hoping it could get away. It didn't really work out so well. A lapse in judgment there from Koler, and PL1 also picked off the other player close towards the site, playing more towards Garage. You've got the Cyber Cage going out on long. Standard play coming in from the Cypher. Curveball goes through to give them access towards long. Shotgun's going to be pushed up, and it's Huynh who finds two. That is brutal, because that's the spike going down as well.
Huynh getting cooked up and spotted a little bit as he drops down to 92 health and a little bit of armor to keep things safe, but not for long. He gets caught reloading with his proverbial pants down. Dicey's able to get 3 on this round, leaving things in a 2v2. The spike somehow managed to get taken away from there, and Immortals is running for the fences with that thing. The nice thing is they have a couple of options on where they want to go. One of the, in my opinion, beautiful parts about this map is that there are more options, more galaxy brain plays to be had. The problem, however, is that the camera has spotted Immortals making their way over onto C. You see the Cypher on the side of Gen.G creeping his way over, as is Effys on the Sova. The spike has gone down. MkaeL, excuse me, waiting as he takes out Genghsta. A 1v2. Dicey, you were brought onto this roster to frag out. You've got the jet. You've got... Well, you don't have any utility, and actually, you don't have a ton of health. This is not an easy situation. The spike ticks as well, but he's going to go hunting. Manages to get one. That's the 4th kill of the round. He's going to be looking for the ace. You hear the defuse start. Effys pulls off of it, face off, and he decides to go aggressive, and Dicey gets the win with the ace.
You know, I was a little bit concerned watching that for a moment as he gets that flank coming through Garage. I'm like, okay, if he holds this and doesn't take this first shot, gets that intel, but no, he just pulls the trigger right away. So then I was like, okay, well, now they know where he's at. Recon Dart goes out, immediately destroyed, tries to bait that shot out, but that was just masterfully played by Dicey. A bit of a misplay there from the likes of Gen.G. They had things under control after they dropped the spike in short. It felt like Huynh goes for that shot on the dart. That shouldn't have been his responsibility. He's got the shorty. That should be the pistol behind him, player 1, to take out the dart so that he can sit there and hold his ground with the shotgun. So he takes one shot down, goes for a fresh cartridge into the barrel of the shorty, and in that time gets peeked. Player 1 tries to peek and trade out. It gets kind of messy there, and both players escape. Jcstani's going to pick off one to kick things off. Look at the aggression coming in from Gen.G. They're going to be wandering straight in. Somehow Koler only able to net 1 kill on the aggressive play coming in from Gen.G. Player 1 continues to light up the scoreboard as he picks off one more before being punished. But it's down to now just 1, and it's the Sova who's back in spawn. It's Effys who can scoop up that Bulldog and try to bring it into the next round, or look to do some additional damage.
Well, he looked. He didn't find. Effys gets taken out at the hands of Asuna. Immortals up 10-4 here. And again, folks, this was Gen.G's choice, right? They chose this map. They have a higher win rate on it. Again, 73% at 19-7 in their organization's career. So they have what they want. Now they're going to have guns to boot as well. The problem is the deficit that they find themselves facing is so deep. You wonder, Boq, if there's enough in the tank to pull themselves out of this one. Immortals has guns. Immortals has money. And they have a substantial lead.
Get out of my way.
But how they decide to play this out will obviously have the greatest impact on whether or not they're able to claw their way back into this thing. Not a decisive push, at least on the side of Immortals. But if you look at your minimap, you see Gen.G is playing this very aggressively, sending 2 members all the way down A long, and oh, they're going to get punished for it. MkaeL drops. GMD is able to trade it out, but he drops as well, and that's going to give him clean access to A.
Dicey and company moving up now onto the site. Have to wait just a moment as the tripwires come in. Dicey's got the ult popped currently as well. The Bladestorm is out, and the knives are ready for a target to come through. Or not. Decides to just send those blades out at the wall. Interesting, to say the least. The smoke is down on long. Asuna's on the other side. Gonna send up a flame wall to try and heal. The remaining 3 from Gen.G not going for this one. All falling back, currently playing exit angles. You can see the Sova's on B, the jetpack and spawn Brim actually running away from the place. So it will be an 11th round from Immortals. I understand this save. Look at the money right now for Gen.G. They're gonna have to fight for a very deep scoreline at this point, as Immortals finds themselves on 11 compared to just a measly 4 coming in from Gen.G.
Yeah, it was a big investment, and again, you lose the pistol round, you're going to lose the next one, and then you invest. The problem is they invested, and it didn't work out. And again, it goes back to that deficit that they find themselves at. The hole is just too deep. When the hole is this deep, when you find yourself this far behind, you can't afford to give up a round like that. You can't afford not to win the rounds that you're investing in, because it's on you with the investment to rattle off the rounds to claw your way back into this thing. Gen.G so far has not been able to do so, and that's a problem. But of course, when you've got Asuna at 18-7 on the other side, really, what can you expect? We see them pushing their way up A long, and again, it's going to be an onslaught headed that way. Asuna's going to use the Reddit back to make his way onto the site. The tripwire's there, but not for long. Asuna's clone gets taken out, but they're still able to get on there with Genghsta getting the kill on MkaeL.
Again, this A site a problem as they just waltz right in off the back of the run it back ult popped by the Phoenix. And Gen.G again is in a difficult scenario. They don't want to just not go for this, but the weapons in their hands are incredibly valuable. They're here and they're trying. There's the smokes coming in as well. You've got Huynh currently up in heaven. Player 1 gets picked off. Asuna's got the flank as well, but it's not even necessary. The last remaining player also gunned down as Dicey dives up into the window. 12-4 currently. Immortals looks fantastic on this opening map against Gen.G.
I mean, they're styling on him at this point. Look at how Dicey played that. Just gets all up close and personal onto Huynh, and just takes the fight to him. Again, just showing the confidence that they have, and it's paying off, right? When you're 12-4, when you've got Asuna at 19-7, Stani and Koler also popping off, as is Dicey, as he's had a surgence in the second half of the game. How do you not feel confident? On the side of Gen.G, P1, he's playing well. He's got 13 kills, but he's died 14 times. It's just been a lackluster performance from Gen.G on their preferred map so far.
Huynh pushed up aggressively right now. Don't think they're prepared for this, so they use the run it back. That actually opens up position here for the Jet. Does Koler clear this? Oh, that's uncomfortable. And there's the neural theft as well. That's going to give away this stack over towards C. They've got 3 agents currently there. They know that the B site and the A site are potentially weak, and Asuna's going to exploit that. Hot Hand's going to go down to prevent the push through, but the spike is moving over towards the A site. You can see a heavy grouping of players working towards short. Cyber Cage goes down. Orbital Strike going to come out. Might do a little bit of damage here, but they actually find a bit of a gap in that back corner. That allows the Jet to stay alive just a little while longer, so Dicey dodging the damage of the flames. And it will be a post-plant scenario again here. It'll be on the A site, and it's going to be Gen.G with a disadvantage.
One player down, and not for long, as Immortals continues to build on what they have here. Dicey's able to get P1 4-2, make that 4-1 and 4-0. Immortals making a statement in the opening map